It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Kyle Benedict as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives in Yavapai County. And now here's today's Countywide.
Welcome to Countywide. I'm Paul David. So good to have you in studio with us today. We're going to be talking about Senior Corps, part of AmeriCorps today on today's program for Countywide. I can say that a few more times. Shanna Smith is in studio today, as well as Lee Phelps with Senior Corps. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you. A couple of local folks in studio. Lee, you came to me, I don't know, a few months ago. I think it was maybe in May. We started talking about you guys coming in because that was Senior Corps Week.
Right. May 19th, I believe, was the beginning of Senior Corps Week.
We got you in now, so we're going to find out a little bit about Senior Corps and just what it is. So who wants to tell me what Senior Corps is, which is a part of AmeriCorps? Shanna?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sure. So the best way that I describe Senior Corps is we have Peace Corps, and you have AmeriCorps, and you have Senior Corps.
Okay.
So Senior Corps was developed to really help the senior side of that through the community service projects, because AmeriCorps does, you know, a lot of different stuff in the United States, you know, community gardens and different stuff like that. Mostly a younger sect that does that. And then the Peace Corps is all over the world,
right.
Mostly a younger sect. And then the Senior Corps is really so seniors can give back to the community. And it was started through the Corporation National Service to really help them. So there's some federal funds, you know, tax-free stipend, which AmeriCorps has as well.
So what does exactly Senior Corps do? And why was it brought about?
So it was brought about twofold: to help the community by helping children and nonprofit agencies and other seniors, and also because they have some benefits associated with it, it was to help low-income seniors subsidize their income.
How are we helping these folks?
How are we helping them?
Yeah.
The seniors you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly. How does, let's jump right into Senior Corps. Just exactly, if I'm a member of Senior Corps, how does that work? What am I doing?
Well, we have three programs in the Verde Valley. We have Senior Companions, we have RSVP, and we have foster grandparents. So the primary thing that it's doing for you is allowing you to give back to the community.
Okay.
Which a lot of people don't understand how much it helps seniors to be able to give back to the community, because they often feel isolated, or they often feel like they can't contribute, or they often feel like they have a lot of skills that they could use if somebody would just provide them a program so they could use these skills.
We've heard that before. Yeah, we really, you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
So you're a member of Senior Corps.
I am a senior companion. I'm not. I don't know if that qualifies for a member of Senior Corps or not, because I work for AmeriCorps as a volunteer, you know, just 10 hours a week. So I do a lot of other things, but the senior companion part of it is very valuable to me, because I'm able to help a senior who is isolated and not have a lot of friends and is kind of handicapped and not able to get out. So, excuse me.
So that's what I'm trying to get at, is that, okay, you're part of Senior Corps and you help another senior out. Kind of tell me what it is that you're doing and why.
Well, a lot of senior companions provide services that makes it possible for them to be more independent.
Like what?
Well, they may take them shopping, they may help them with the laundry, they may take them to the doctor. I simply provide companionship for somebody that's isolated. So there's a lot of things that the senior companions help the seniors depending on the individual circumstances. They might help them, you know, set up their medication for the week. They may take them to the doctor, to the grocery store, help them with laundry, whatever they're needed to do. Sometimes in assisted living, they play games with them, they take them for a walk, they do other things that help the senior live a happier life.
So what does that do for you?
Well, it makes me feel good inside.
Yeah, okay. So how many people do you help? How many people do you visit? I don't want to say really help.
Well, I just visit one because I have other things that I need to do for my 10 hours. So I only have one senior companion that nobody, you know, that Santa couldn't hook up with anybody else. So it was a special case that they have kind of a unique outlook on life, and so do I. So it was a fit. It was compatible.
So do you visit like every day of the week, or just?
No, I visit twice a week for 2 hours.
Okay.
That's all the time I really have with the other stuff that I do.
Okay. What's your role, Shanna, with Senior Corps?
Oh, I'm the volunteer coordinator.
Okay.
So for all 3 programs, and the program coordinator, so I talk about the programs, I facilitate the paperwork, and I make the matches for Senior Companion Program. So if I get a referral, say from NACOG, Northern Arizona Council of Governments, and they say this person really needs some extra assistance in their home. So then I look at the list of volunteers, and our volunteers volunteer between 15 and 40 hours a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
15 is the minimum. And they have, most of them have between 3 and 8 clients. What's unique about our program too is they keep it, all of our programs are focusing in on a one-on-one relationship with the children that lasts all through the school year, or one-on-one relationship with other seniors. So it's not someone different. You need to ride to the doctor and it's someone different each time that volunteer shows up.
That would be difficult.
That would be hard for the senior because it's hard to accept help, you know, but then the way it typically works is when I first call them, they say, well, I don't even really know if I need anyone. And then once the program gets started, they call me, can I have them Monday through Friday, you know? So that's kind of.
Sometimes it's not even the ride or the pills. It's just that somebody came to the door and knocked on it, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what it really boils down to for a lot of the folks.
Right. And that's, you know, companionship is the main thing, you know, so that's what's important. And if they have other services through long-term care or something, you know those programs don't pay for companionship. They don't provide companionship. So that's where our programs come in. We fill that gap.
Okay. How many volunteers do you have?
In the area, we have 5 volunteers.
For the Verde Valley?
For the Verde Valley.
All of the Verde Valley?
All of the Verde Valley.
And we're talking Sedona as well in the village of Oak Creek?
Yes.
Okay, wow, that's not
5 to 7.
How many people call, though, and need?
We have about 35 clients that we're serving. We only have a few on the waiting list, but we could definitely use more volunteers. But keep in mind, some volunteer programs, the volunteers only volunteer 2 hours a week or 2 hours a month, but our volunteers are giving between 15 and 40. So really, it's a lot of hours, but it's a smaller force.
So we need a bigger force.
We need a bigger force.
There'll be fewer hours, and then instead of having 5 to 8, maybe people that you go see a week, maybe only have a few that you see a week and a little more quality time then, right? That
would be nice.
That's our goal here today, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, to get more volunteers in there.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Shanna, you talk about the programs, and we're gonna get to those in the second half of the show. But do you go around and make presentations at Kiwanis and maybe schools, churches, things like that, businesses? Yeah.
Yes, we've been making an effort to get it to all the churches in the area that have an interest in hearing us speak, or just to put something up at their facility. And I do that. I go to the different places, senior center, or the different apartment complexes that serve seniors, and talk about the programs.
How often do you get called out?
To do that?
Enough or not enough?
Not enough.
Not enough. See, yeah, we need some help, huh?
Yes.
I guess we should probably throw out the phone number, 814-9425.
Or you could call directly, 928.
Give me that number too.
928-202-8261.
8261, okay. That's going to get to you?
Yes.
That's for Shanna, huh? Okay.
Yes.
202-8261.
Yes.
Okay. And then the other number, the 814-9425 is?
That's my number.
That's your number. So that'll get you to Lee as well. So there you go. You've got 2 contacts right off the bat. We'll have to take our first break, okay? All right. We're talking Senior Corps today. Stick around. Countywide, I'm Paul David. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. That single ember can ignite and destroy your home or even your community. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom. It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. It's Countywide. Great to have you along. I don't know why I'm stumbling so much this morning. Shanna Smith and Lee Phelps from Senior Corps in studio today. We're going to talk about some of the programs now coming up in the next segment. We might as well start with Senior Companions. We've kind of talked about this one already, but again, let's reiterate what Senior Companions is first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So Senior Companions is a non-medical program that helps seniors mostly that are in their homes to help them stay in their homes. We do have a few assisted living where we help people there, just give them some extra attention, crafts, you know.
But these are people who want to stay in their home.
Right.
And so this
the
helps
majority,
with that.
Yeah, that's what the program was developed for, is to help people stay in their homes as long as possible. So, you know, we do companionship is the main thing. We can help them, you know, with bills or, you know, a lot of, you know, like Lee said, take them to the doctor, take them to the grocery store, you know, that type of thing. But non-medical companionship is the main.
Non-medical meaning?
Meaning no showers.
Okay.
You know, no handling the medication.
Okay.
You know, stuff
All
like
right.
that.
Okay.
So.
Let's go to the next one. This one has got to be important, unfortunately, these days, but foster grandparents.
Okay.
What? Yeah, explain what that is, first of all.
Okay, so foster grandparents are, you know, same requirements, seniors age 55 or above that are low income that want to, you know, give back to the community through helping children. So the name is a little misleading because they're not home. We think foster parents, we think
yeah,
it's
I would
in
think
the home.
that the kids come visit
Right.
you at home.
Right. But our foster grandparents go into the schools. So they're actually never left alone with the students. The teacher that has a foster grandparent, she looks at her children and sees what children really need some extra attention within the classroom. Maybe they're struggling with reading, maybe they're really, really bright and they need a little bit more challenge. So she identifies 5 to 8 children that the foster grandparent can work with, and then they focus on those children during the school year. Of course, they're going to probably help every child in the classroom because we don't want it to be a negative thing, like, well, you have to work with grandma,
right?
You know,
right.
or whatever. We want it to be something positive, and it really is.
So how's that program working out in the Verde Valley?
It's working out really well.
How many people do we have in that one?
About 12 to 15 right now.
Okay.
We also, you know, RSVP is more of a broad program, and we have literacy coaches within RSVP. So if we included the literacy coaches, we'd probably be at about 20.
Okay.
So.
How many volunteers total do we have for the Verde Valley?
On average, I would say 35. You know, we have some snowbirds, as you know, so it's kind of in flux. But
so we have 5 for the Senior Companions program, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's 5 for just the senior programs, but the whole Senior Corps itself in the Verde Valley has far more volunteers. It has 35, but still, we could use more.
Yes, we could.
Well, we cover a lot of area. You know, and we cover Camp Verde and Cottonwood, and, you know, Sedona and VOC, and there's a great need for a lot more volunteers. There are people waiting to get services, so, you know, there's a lot of area to cover.
Okay, I was going to ask you that, what the cover area is. So it is all of the Verde Valley, Sedona, Village of Oak Creek, Jerome, Clarkdale, Cottonwood, Camp Verde. Okay, East Yavapai County. That makes it even bigger then. Okay, all right.
And Rimrock as well.
Right.
I imagine there's probably some extra requirements to be a foster grandparent since you're going to be going into educational institutions.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, all of our volunteers get a level 1 fingerprint card.
What's that?
The fingerprint clearance card.
Fingerprints.
Right, and we cover that. So that way, that's added insurance for the seniors as well, who have people coming into their home that we've done the background checks. We've, they're cleared with their fingerprints. And then the school, it's a requirement with all the schools. So we take care of that so the schools don't have to absorb that cost.
Can we remember the day when you didn't have to go through a background check and just volunteer for stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, that's too bad, huh?
Yes.
All right, let's do RSVP.
Okay.
What's RSVP?
Retired Senior Volunteer Program.
Ah, okay.
It's a little bit different. So senior companions and foster grandparents, they're low-income seniors, 55 and above, they get a stipend. They get a tax-free stipend because they qualify income eligible. That's one of the reasons it was created, to kind of provide these opportunities to seniors but not cost them any money. So they get...
The senior volunteers?
Yes.
Okay.
For foster grandparent senior companion.
Okay.
They get a stipend of $265 per hour. They get mileage reimbursement. They also get secondary insurance, and they get paid time off. So they still get their stipend when they're sick or on vacation.
Oh, wow. So it's almost like having volunteering. It's almost kind of like having like a little part-time job.
Right, but it's $265 per hour.
Right.
But the really nice thing about it being tax-free is that if you live in low-income housing, if you get a little food stamps, if Access is paying your Medicare premium, it doesn't affect that. You don't claim it, it's tax-free. If it was a wage, then it would be minimum wage. Oh. So that's kind of a nice thing that, sometimes seniors have to watch how much they're making because their rent could go up or, but with this program you don't have to have those worries. But RSVP, you don't have to qualify income-wise. So you can, but you don't, and you also don't have to do the 15 hours per week. But anyone could be an RSVP, any nonprofit could be an RSVP site or partner agency. So it could be, the food bank or Catholic Charities or different stuff like that, and then they partner with us, and then we find the volunteers and place them with the agencies. So we do have RSVP volunteers that serve as foster grandparents or serve as senior companions, but they're taking like one client. They're not getting the stipend. They can get the mileage reimbursement if they want it, or a foster grandparent. They're helping in the schools, but just kind of at the time that they would like to.
So if I was a 501c3, I can ask SeniorCorps to help me with finding volunteers and placing So you're kind of an umbrella then for 501c3s.
Yes, RSVP is.
RSVP is?
Yes.
Not SeniorCorps?
No. Senior RSVP falls under the umbrella.
Yeah, go ahead.
RSVP falls under the umbrella of SeniorCorps. All three of those programs do.
Okay.
So, but RSVP is just a little bit different in that, that we serve nonprofits. We're, connecting volunteers with different...
RSVP does that.
Yes.
This particular program in SeniorCorps is the one that helps with that, the placement of volunteers.
Yes.
So how busy are that? You're a volunteer coordinator. You've got to be crazy busy.
Yes, and I work 18 hours a week.
Yeah.
I am busy. So RCP, definitely we could grow, in focus areas. Our focus areas right now are seniors or, healthy futures, and then veterans and food.
Are there any trouble spots that we need extra help in?
I would like an agency through RCP for veterans, so we could serve that population.
That would be great.
It would be great.
Yeah. Okay, we have to take another break. Shanna Smith in studio today, as well as Lee Phelps with SeniorCorps. I'm Paul David. This is Countywide. We'll be back in just a couple minutes.
The next 30 seconds can save you a lot of money. Just do your laundry in cold and stick to full loads. Auto-sleep your computers. Plug your gadgets in a power strip and switch it off when you're done. Headed out? Turn back your thermostat by 10 degrees. And drive sensibly. The more energy you save, the more money you save. Find other great tips at energysaver.gov.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome back to Countywide. We have just a couple minutes left in the program. Shanna Smith in studio today, as well as Lee Phelps with Senior Corps. A couple of phone numbers for you. If you want to talk to Lee, it's 814-9425, and for Shanna, it's 202-8261. So let me give them again. 814-9425 for Lee, and then for Shanna, it's 202-8261. Let's get back in the volunteers, because it seems to me like this is what this is all based about, is people wanting to help other people. So those phone numbers obviously are going to be a good way to find out more information. And then it just seems like such an easy process to go through. It's just, I call you, set up an appointment, and then what? I say, well, this is what I'm good at. This is what I think I could help with. Yeah.
And then I'll direct you in the right program or agency that will work best for you.
And you said we have about 35 volunteers right now?
Right.
Through the program?
Right.
How many would you like?
60.
60? As many as possible, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, as many as possible. So it's really that easy, right? And you obviously do need background, or you do need volunteers right now. So, I mean, we've got the RSVP program, which we talked about a little bit today, but there's a lot more to this than I think what we probably hit on. So people are going to be interested in that.
Well, nationwide, there are about 300,000 RSVP volunteers. So it's often, like Shannon said, it's bigger in other areas than it is here. But there's a lot of room to grow here for people who want to help.
How long has these programs been available here in the Verde Valley? Do we know?
20 plus years.
20 plus years? Okay. All right. And it's just slowly but surely been growing, or have we seen more and then it's dropped off?
Yeah, it kind of does that.
Up and down, kind of wavy?
Right.
Okay. The foster grandparents, I can see that, well, that could be really interesting for a lot of folks.
Right.
Yeah, some retired teachers maybe.
And we have agreements
with
all the schools, yeah. So that's nice.
So all the schools in the Verde Valley have
all
program.
all the public schools.
All the public
for sure.
schools.
Okay. And some charter.
It's available to charter schools as well.
It is available, yes.
Okay, all right. And I'm sure you'd be willing to go talk to anybody that asks for you to come and talk about these programs. And then Senior Companions, this one we definitely need more on as well.
Yes.
Because we are pretty much retirement communities, it seems like, at least a large population of it.
Right.
Yeah, so we could use more of those. Okay. Well, good job, you two. Let me get the phone numbers again. Shanna, 202-8261, and for Lee Phelps, 814-9425. Nice meeting both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thanks
Enjoy your 4th of July weekend.
All right, you as well.
That's today's Countywide. We'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you.